let us today understand what are the necessary conditions that lead to deadlock. So let us start with necessary conditions. There are mostly 4 conditions which must occur if it leads to the deadlock, right? So one by one we are going to understand which are those 4 conditions. So first condition is called as the mutual exclusion. So what do you mean by mutual exclusion? Suppose if a process is there and it wants a particular resource. Resource could be anything. Your CPU, your memory, your hard disk, your scanner or anything, right? So suppose if a P1 process requires a resource, then if the resource is available, then that P1 will get the resource R1. Now suppose at the same time P2 is there also, and so suppose a process is there P1 and it desires a resource R1. So if resource R1 is available, then that resource will be given to the process P1. Now at the same time, say suppose P2 process is there and it also wants the R1 process. So in that case, this resource will not be given to the process P2. Means at a time only one process can access a particular resource is known as mutual exclusion. So if a situation is something like this in the system, then you can say that this condition will lead to deadlock. Now second condition that could happen is the hold and wait. So say suppose we have already seen this particular diagram, isn't it? Now in this diagram, what is happening is that process P1 is there and it is holding the resource R1 and it is requesting a resource R2. Means P1 is holding R1 and it is waiting for resource R2, isn't it? And here P2 is holding R2 and it is waiting for the resource R1. Then this is a typical situation in which deadlock will take place. So here deadlock will take place. Why? Because one resource is being held and the process is waiting for another resource. Now consider the third situation, no preemption. Means what? Suppose P1 process is there and it is holding one resource called as R1, isn't it? And say suppose P2 wants that resource. So unless and until P1 releases the resource R1, this P2 request will not be granted. That is the meaning of no preemption. Now the last one, circular wait. Now say suppose in the particular system, suppose P1 wants a resource being held by the process P2 and P2 is waiting for a resource held by the process P3. P3 is waiting for a resource held by the process P4 and P4 is waiting for a resource held by the process P1. So if such type of scenario exists, then we could say circular wait is there and this definitely leads to deadlock. So if in a system deadlock is to occur, all these 4 conditions must occur. Now let us see the theory part for this. Like I have explained you, deadlock can arise if 4 conditions hold simultaneously. There is one name for this condition called as Kaufman's condition. So first condition is mutual exclusion. Means what? At one particular time, only one process can use a resource. Then second condition is hold and wait. Means what? A process is holding at least one resource and is waiting to acquire additional resource which is being held by the other process. Third condition is no preemption, means a process can be released only by voluntarily by the process holding it, and only after that the process has completed its task, it will release that resource. Like in our example, P1 was holding the resource R1. So unless and until P1 completes its execution, it will not release the resource R1 for another process P2. So unless it releases it by its own choice, the resources are not released. And the last condition is circular wait. Like I have explained you in the diagram, a set of processes are there and they are waiting for resources held by the next process. And in this way, a cycle is there in such a way that a circular wait takes place and the requirement of none of the processes is being fulfilled, and this situation leads to deadlock.